So when you hear these guys growling next to each other's ears, they're not just growling, they're biting. When you see their hand in each other's crotch, they're obviously grabbing the groin, okay? They're biting, they're grabbing the groin, they're hitting the knee, they're poking the eye, they're clawing, they're doing what they have to do because that's what an animal does when it has to survive, right? And at the basis level, if you ever face a sudden violence encounter, it's not about how fancy you can look or the fact that you can square off and look like Chuck Liddell. The question is, will you be willing to do what you have to do to survive right now? And that's what Kung Fu San Soo is all about. And even though all kinds of different people train it, there's a real popular internet video that I love that's out there right now. And it's two guys engaged in an actual street encounter, a street fight. And they're on the ground and they're grappling. And the guy on the bottom's talking, yeah man, I'm gonna put you in the guard and I'm gonna armbar you. And the guy on top's going, oh yeah man, we'll see how your guard works. And the other guy's girlfriend walks up and goes, bam, kicks him in the face and knocks him out cold. He's snoring, right? I don't want to go to the ground if I don't have to, right? I don't want to be involved in a sport fight. A sport fight is an agreed upon encounter between two people. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. Is that a street fight? That's not a street fight. Kung Fu San Soo is about a street fight, and that's what these guys are training to do. You see them going through their lessons. They're training concepts, they're training sentences, they're training words, but they put them together in a sentence that makes sense for the situation they're involved in, where they don't have to think about it, the body just reacts. That's what this art is all about. So a lot of these guys up here are bouncers involved in law enforcement. Some of them are accountants. Some of them are, mothers of three. Or kindergarten teachers. There's all kinds of different people that are involved in the art. But the awesome thing about Kung Fu San Soo is what's good in you, what's strong in you, what's powerful in you can come out. And so, obviously, in a real street situation, a fight that lasts 5 seconds is 4 seconds too long. You want to end it right now if you want to be safe. And so this is what these guys are training to do. The interesting thing about that is that when they train to do that, the opposite effect takes place. If you train the martial arts correctly, all of that anger and frustration that you had, especially you guys, to get in somebody's face or when they cut you off, to flip them off and pull them over and beat them up, it starts to relax a little bit. And I've had a lot of students that have come in to train and really love San Soo that were street fighters before they started training martial arts. They didn't really need to learn martial arts to street fight. They already knew how to do it. And the funny thing is, they're real excited the next time they get in a fight to use the art. And the funny thing is how less they actually fight. Because really what it does is it kind of controls the beast that's inside you already. And you can kind of relax that cat a little bit. Especially for the ladies, right? So when that beast relaxes, and you know what you're doing, you know how you're moving, and you know what you can do, when someone stands before you and they're threatening you, and you're looking at them going, I know 12 ways to knock this guy down in a gesture, it's not worth it. And you don't have to fight. And to me, that's the most beautiful part of the art of Kung Fu San Soo, is it teaches me that I don't have anything to prove. I can be the nicest guy in the world, shake your hand. I'm not thinking about who I can beat up anymore. Before I did martial arts, I guarantee you, pretty much every guy is sizing every other guy up. And you can let that go when you train. And that's what these guys have engaged in. Every one of them that has gotten to the level of black belt, and even before that, has gone through a complete life transformation. A complete life transformation. It has changed their lives. I believe in the martial arts. I believe in what they can do to totally transform a person from the inside out, regardless of your race, regardless of your religion or lack thereof. No matter who you are, it's at the very, very core of being a human being, learning something that you can put down who you are, you can put aside all your prejudices, all your biases, and you can come in and you can learn something that can completely change you as a person and also give you tons of confidence. I like to say martial arts is a modulator. It modulates. What I mean by that is, as Grandmaster Jimmy Woo said, he's the guy on our wall here, he's the reason why we're doing this. He brought the art to America and began teaching, I believe, in the late 60s, late 50s, early 60s he began. In a second I'm going to introduce a very special guest, but Grandmaster Jimmy Woo began teaching in a small shopping center in El Monte, California, and he taught all different kinds of people, And he used to say to them, because some of these guys were coming in and they were thugs, and other guys were coming in and they were accountants, right? And he would say to every one of them, good boys, bad boys, you're all my boys. And to see what martial arts did for each and every one of those individuals is just absolutely astounding. And so I want you guys to give these guys a huge round of applause for their hard work. Another interesting thing is a lot of times, you know, ladies don't necessarily, you know, they see it and they go, oh, well, that's violent, and I don't want to. But some of you ladies are going, oh, that's kind of cool. I want to learn how to do that. Right? Some of you ladies, a few of you, yeah. You want to learn how to do it. You want to learn how to protect yourself and defend yourself. And in recent years, in the California school that I'm from, Master Dave Hopkins, and in my school, we've got more women in the art because they want to learn how to defend themselves. They don't want to fight in the cage. They want to learn to defend themselves against a guy trying to take their purse or throw their kid in a van. And that's real stuff, because the world doesn't change for anybody. That's the way it is, and it's good to know how to take care of yourself. And it's been great to see that development in our art as well. But you know, today is an amazing day for me as an instructor, not only to promote some of my adult students, but also to see how much they've grown in the art and as individuals and as people. But also, I had a very, very special guest come to my demonstration today, and he brought one of his students with him. And this special guest is actually the grandson of Grandmaster Jimmy Woo. And he's here today. JD, if you can stand up for me, please. I've asked JD to say a few words, so I'm going to give him the floor.
You guys hear me okay? Sure. That's my grandfather. I can't tell you, I would like to be able to tell you, but I can't tell you how different a person he was. Came from a different time, born nearly 100 years ago, but he started a movement. I mean, he said this, the art of Kung Fu lies not in victory or defeat, but in the building of human character. Anyone can punch or kick, you know, get hurt, anyone can fight, but it's more than just a belt or a large, nice school. These guys give honor to what they're doing. Dedication, hard work. You know, this is just canvas and some dye and some string, but it depends on what you put into it. To me, it's not just a belt. It's not just a uniform. It's not just a school. Paul is not just Paul, although he's kind of a nice guy. They stand for more because of what they put into it. Dedication and hard work and honor. Unless you're practicing something like that, it's difficult to understand those things. You hear them cheer and, you know, encourage each other, killing each other, ripping each other apart, you know. It's a good place to be, supportive. You learn a lot of incredible things, make a lot of good friends, and you learn honor, patience, hard work, dedication. I can't tell you how different of a person he was because of those things. The things that he would say, he could talk to you about anything and make an awful lot of sense. But everything he learned came back to human character. Because at the end of the day, that's, well, you can't punch your way out of a bank, you know, and you can't, that doesn't pay the bills, that doesn't settle a marriage. Don't make any friends that way. He's a heck of a guy. And I hope, as the leader of my family, and as the caretaker to the art, it's now my turn. And I hope someday I'm half as good as he ever was. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, ladies.